Welcome to this look at some nice new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got some new mods. We've got one update today. The Lazy Distribution by Let's Be Having Moo has had an update. We've got 3 new maps out today as well, which I'll get onto as soon as possible. We've got De Friesvelden by Marnuk's Mapping. I've been talking to Marnuk's over the last few months about various different things and maps and whatnot. We've got Lagoon Dry Andalusia 2.0 by Truck69 and Polyscene by Mirko Mod. So yeah, I'll get onto those as soon as I can. In front of me we have got the Hut pack. 34.65 megabytes download. 17 slots are 95,000, 18 slots 127,000. Customization options, I've got one of one and one of another. So you've got a sort of brand new cabin build, or a cabin that's been around for a while, bit more weathered, bit more kind of mossy on the roof, tin and stuff, looks like, you know, it's been there a while. These are also generators, so you can earn money from these. So you place them as kind of basically a holiday home cabin that people will then pay you to stay in. It does say that the income is seasonal, so it will adjust. I think it goes up to 9,600. I want to say a month. I think it's a month, but we'll double check that anyway. So if we go into here under generators, so there you go, 95 grand and 127. If I pick one of those to show you as an option, customization option, Chalet 1, Chalet 2. So let's say brand new, a little bit more worn and weathered. Slightly different design actually, looking at the front steps. Yeah, brickwork around the bottom on this one as well. Yeah, so slightly different designs as they go. You can't go into the buildings, they are as they are. Oh, actually, this was a shame, wasn't it? Sorry. Yeah, 9,600. So 0 to 9,600, depending on the season. And you can earn some extra revenue. They are nicely made and detailed. It may be just what you're looking for. Next up, we've got the onion storage. Oh, I didn't say that was fine. That's by naimog mod. Those ones there. Next, we've got the onion storage. This is by TWF-Team HaHner, 3.36 megabytes download, 18 slots, 45,000 to buy with a 250,000 litre capacity. Customization option on this is you've got a sort of wood-sided one or a metal-sided one. We have a light switch just inside here, which does our light. And then you put in here, take out here. It holds onions. I mean, that's, I guess, kind of fairly straightforward. Build mode, silos. And you'll find it just there. Like I said, customization option, we've got that one, wood, or a metal version if you'd rather it be a little bit more metally. Next we have got the shed for machines. There are 2 in this pack. This is 28.21 megabytes download by Betonowy, Łukasz. 18 slots 40,000, 20 slots and 50,000. One is open, one is closed. So I'll show you this one first. There you go. So there's your open version, like so. No customization option, comes like that in the green. And then this one here, our customization option on this is green sheet metal walls. And then we've got grey sheet, I think it's supposed to say brick walls, but anyway, grey sheet, says metal walls, but we've got brick down the bottom of that. And we've got this one here, the green sheet metal walls. Actually, I think it's brick and concrete. So it's, yeah, the green sheet metal, grey sheet metal, bottom sections, this is concrete, the other one's brick. That was the difference. So, open our door here. And this one is a separate opening, as is the other one just over there. Light switch is just over this side. And then we've got this one here, which says build supporting wall, which just puts a wall at the back there, which I'm assuming is if you're going to pile grain up or something against it, rather than it being against the back wall maybe. That's the only one that appears, and there's not another one. That's just light switch there. Yeah, I can't find any other switches for any more walls, it's just that back one there, adding a support wall, like so. So, shed for machines. Next we've got the Windmill and its Bakery by VX Mapping. This is a really lovely looking mod. Does some cool stuff as well. So this is 58.25 megabytes download, 28 slots, 80,000 to buy. Build mode, factories. Just there. No customization option. I didn't write down a customization option. Nope, comes just like that. Until it starts running, the windmill won't start turning. Once you've got something in there and you get it going, off it will chug. But it's a beautiful looking building. So you've got the old windmill, the oldie windmill, and then around the side here, we've got a little bakery, kind of coffee shop type thing around the side, which is very nice too. So we come around this side. This is where you put your grains in. This doesn't open actually, this stays closed, but you can put your grain type stuff in there, and then your other items come to this door here, which opens and closes. As you can see, nicely labelled. For our lights, if you close those doors, we come up here, we've got this just here, which says, you see that board there? It says put the plank, which puts a ramp there for disabled access, or if you're pushing barrows or whatever to get stuff in there, whatever it might be, that puts that plank there, yes or no. You can remove the plank if you wish to. So you can get people to walk the plank if they've been misbehaving. Open and close the door here. I mean, like I say, the detail on it, there's a load going on. And now it's running. I mean, look. Isn't that cool? Sometimes you just get sound, sometimes you just get the windmill itself turning, but the whole thing is doing what it should be. So, what can we do here? Well, we've got bread, which just requires flour. We've got donuts, which has a recipe. There's quite a lot in the recipe, but that one's for canola oil and that one's for sunflower oil, but they both make donuts. Then we've got flour from barley, oat, sorghum, wheat and soybean. And then wheat. The wheat recipe is 5 to 6. The flour and the wheat and soybean one gives us a 4 and 4 to 10. So it's pretty handy. And then we've got muffins with this, again, fair amount on the recipe there, and pastries as well if you want to run pastries. But what we also want to do is have a look at the detail as we go up here. I love this. Look, the winch up for the bags. So a gravity fed flour mill, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, like I say, the time and energy gone into doing that, and the detail. And we come up here, out to the top. Look at that little rocking chair. What a fantastic place to spend some time. Very relaxing watching those go by. A bit Windy Miller, I think. Can we get her down there? There we go. So there we go. How very cool. Not crazy expensive either, really. 80,000, and you're getting sort of a bakery and flour mill and all the detail that goes into it all in one place. That's nice. The windmill and bakery. Next we've got this. This is the Polish silage silo by Questa. This is 5.51 megabytes download, 18 slots, 20,000 to buy, build mode and silos. Just there. No customization options. It comes just as it is. I put some in to see if there was any bleeding through the walls. To avoid any bleeding through the walls, when you pile it up, it starts at the bottom there and piles up to a point rather than coming up the walls then going up. So yeah, you don't get that bleeding through the walls, but you kind of, I guess you lose a little bit of capacity potentially. There's 117,000 litres in there at the moment. If we came out a little bit further, we might get, what, maybe 150,000 litres in there potentially. But nicely made and detailed. You can see sort of the concrete pours and the ridges where the shuttering and stuff's been. It's very cool. There you go. That is the Polish style silo by Questa. Next we've got the Michieletto SM38 by Smety. It's got some nice options too. 11.87 megabytes download, 6 slots, 36 cows, 55 sheep, 55 pigs is what this will carry. So if we come down to our animal transports and go out to there, 120,500 to purchase should you wish. So options on this, there are a few, as I say. We've got mud flap design, 1, 2, 3, back off again. Rear lights, 1, 2, 3, back again. Additional lights, this puts chicken lights across the top as far as I can tell. None. Design 1. I think it does, definitely does across the back and along the sides. I don't think it does at the bottom. I think it's across the top. Then we've got side windows, silver or main colour. Sorry, I'll take that back. Sorry, silver, main colour, chassis colour, silver. Mud flaps. This is actually mud guards, I guess, over the wheels rather than mud flaps, I suppose. But anyway, doesn't matter. Again, we got black, main colour, chassis colour, design colour, black, back to main colour. Then we can change the colours of what we're going to do. So there's our main colour. Chassis colour, let's go yellow. Does all around that section. If we do design colour, you can see the bottom section. Let's do that blue so you can see that. Rim colour, license plate option on there as well. So those are all of our options. But we've got a lot going on with this. So we've got L1, open back door. Which does that. Very nice. Fold that back up again. That does raise the top up, but it only keeps the top raised when you've got the door open, interestingly. There's no option for that top to raise. Let's watch us open it. That's starting to raise up now, but it doesn't stay raised. But I guess I don't suppose it necessarily needs to, because it has got another option which we're going to get to. Then we've got L1. We have got turn on livestock trailer. See the fans on the side? If we listen. So that's what that will be for. We turn the fans on. Start the fans, please. Then we've got open cover, which opens and closes all the side sections for allowing a little bit more ventilation, like so. Then we've got this option, which is, it says open back door, but not the one we just had. Up on the D-pad, does the entire back section like that. So if you don't want the ramp and stuff, you can go with that as an option if you want to. Goes right there back. Which is an interesting one, to be fair. I tell you what we'll do, we'll put the lights on so you can see. Maybe it does put them down the sides at the bottom as well. They're definitely on the sides at the top, definitely across the back. There are some down the side, so I guess that's part and parcel. Yeah, it's I think that's all the options. R1, L1, R1. Yeah. There we go. The Michieletto SM38. Next we've got the Rolland Turbo, just here. The Turbo 160, this is 8.58 megabytes download, 5 slots, this is by SimulatorGAMES and PipicH. I've gone for the largest capacity one to double check, and it still takes everything. It's not just a silage trailer in its largest capacity. This you'll find on the trailers. Just there, 25,700 in base configuration, 14,000 litres, like so. We've got 18,000 litre open that side, 18,000 litre open that side, 18,000 litre all sides, I guess, kind of closed in. Then we go 20,700, 22,500, 27,000, 27,300 with a little bit on the front as well. Then back to 14. We'll leave it on that for the time being. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Big AT, Vredestein, back again. We've got standard and standard 2 on all of them apart from, I think it was Vredestein, which had a standard 3. On tyre choices, warning signs are on already, so they're on or off if you want those. Then attacher position, we've got middle, we've got lower, we've got higher, back to middle again, that adjusts the front attachment. Axles colour, that does the axles and hub. Let's go red so you can see those, there you go. Main colour does, well, you can imagine, the main colour. Extension colour does the extension, license plate option on there as well. So if we come out from there, this does have, and again, it depends what option you've gone for. Like I said, I've gone for the high-sided one. If you've gone for the lower-sided version, it will obviously make a difference. I mean, there's a lot of detail on this as well. But if we go R1, we've got tip side. So we start off with tip side back, tip side grain door, tip side rear doors. If I do tip side rear doors and unload, it opens those up, but doesn't actually tip up. I'll close that back down again. Now you can open those rear doors without unloading. So we go L1, it just says open trailer doors up on the D-pad. So you can use this for putting other things in if you don't want to just use it for grains and stuff. Again, like I say, if you've gone for the version that doesn't have the high sides on it, if you've gone for the low version. And then we got the where are we? Parking option. So if we go to position for parking up on the D-pad, I've said this before. Again, it depends, you know, what you're about. But a lot of trailers have this as an option, so it will put it in that position and opens the back a little bit. So if it's pouring with rain, these skip ones especially, they don't fill with water and then start to rust. The water, that's at just enough of an angle, the water can run out, the back doors open a little bit, and the water pours out and drains away. So that's if you're going to leave it parked for a while, you can do it in that position as well if you want to. Position for use, put it back down again, and then finally we'll just go back to just show a standard unload at the back, hole opens up like so, and the whole thing tips. There you have it, the Rolland Turbo 160. Next we're going to do, actually we'll do this one, then we'll head up to the field. We've got this very chunky, lovely looking bit of kit. The JCB 940 Forklift by RossN mods, 17.5 megabytes download and 9 slots. You'll find it under the forklift category. It's just there, 65 grand. What's the horsepower? 62. We've got door control on or off. I see. I put it on. We've got BKT, Michelin, Mitas, Trelleborg with the wides. If we go back to BKT, we have got a standard and a communal, which I went for because it was a little bit more chunky. But if you don't want a really wide one, if you've got smaller doors to get through or gateways or whatever it might be, you can put it on something else. We've got no beacons, left. No, sorry, not left. We've got no beacon, rotate, strobe, back to no. And then we've got LED strobes. We've got front, we've got rear, we've got both. Window guard, I put it on because, you know, me and forklifts. Then we've got main colour choice, does all that section. Rim colour, license plate option on there as well. So, we jump in and start it up. Nice and straightforward with our lift and tilt. Got quite a height on it. We've got our tilt forwards and backwards as well. Let's back out. Beacon on. So I've gone for the flashing unit rather than rotating. You can see I've got front strobes, rear strobes on there as well, if you go for that option. Lights, rear lights, back off again, turn the strobes off. Then we do have L1, no, was it R1? R1, right stick side to side. Oh yes, so we've got open and close of our forks, then up and down, so R1 up and down slides the carriage side to side, so if you're not quite lined up when you get to where you're going, you can adjust your carriage side to side. Then L1, R1, right stick side to side, there we go, we've got right stick side to side and up and down, does our doors, both sides, interior, I'll say, so nice chunky bit of kit this. Which door have I opened? Of course I've opened the other one. Yeah. A little bit more sturdy. The JCB 940 Forklift. Next, we're up on the hillside for this. This is the large stable with manure heap. This by VX Mapping. 17.79 megabytes download. 23 slots, 140 plus on the animals because you can customize the animal pen. I left it standard, but it gives you the option to extend the pen out and make it as big as you want to. Actually, all the ones that are coming up all have the option for customizing of the pen. This also has a customization option for solar panels. I think I went with solar panels on the roof, but no color option on this. If we come around the side here, we've got our milk point just down there. This is pretty cool. So our slurry point is here, but that's folded away at the moment. If we come to this, unfold the turret, swings that round, and then you've got your slurry point comes out of there. Pretty cool. feed, bedding, etc. There's your dialogue box for your animals. All these doors do open and close and whatnot. And that large section at the other end was where the manure heap is, which is built in. So when you want to get your manure, it will come out from there. And it's actually, that's a good point. I didn't come across, unless it was the other end, didn't come across a light switch. There's one for inside the milk parlour. What does this one do? Does that do all of the lighting? Or is it even a light switch? Curious. So we go into here, go to our animals, and this is under cows. Now I know it says stable, but it is, I mean, it's a cow barn, and it's that one just there. There we go. 300,000, well 300,500 is what it will cost you. 400,000 litres of storage for your manure, which is built in. See the solar panels on the roof. Very nice indeed. So there we go. That's that one by VX Mapping. Next we come on to a pack. The Hoermann Animals pack by MISSYB. This is 35.44 megabytes download. We've got 2 cow barns, 11 slots and 17 slots. We've got a pig pen, which is 14 slots, and a sheep pen, which is 12 slots. The first cow one does 16 plus because it's a smaller one, and as I said before, all of these have customizable pens. I went for the standard version, but they are all customizable. So the first one says it will hold 16, the second one says it will hold 350. Again, that's plus depending on what size you go for on the pen. The pig pen says it does 16, and the sheep says it will do 500. So we've got plenty of scope there for our pens, and we'll have a quick wander around. You can see customization options. We've got colour, definitely. And then there's solar panel options as well. And these have built-in manure heaps too. Easy way to check that. If we come up to our animal pens, see our open pig shed. And if you look on the right hand side, I think all of them bar one require water as well. So it's not a given because they're an animal barn that you get water automatically. So that one says manure on it. That one's got manure. That one's got manure. That one, the large sheep barn, doesn't give you manure because it's sheep, but still requires water. And I think that one there was the first one we looked at, which has got a built-in manure heap. So if we go into this build mode, then back to our cows again. So there's our cow barn with open roof, which is this one just here. That's got a 2 million litre capacity, which I'm assuming is your manure heapage. So customization options on this one, we've got colour. Now this was a weird one, because if you look at all of this, I went round and round this. I couldn't work out what changed colour. If I click on that, let's go something that stands out. Let's go yellow. I can't tell. Is it the roof beams? I really couldn't tell what changed on that one. And then when you go to place that, it will then give you the option for customising of the pen itself. Then this one here, 300,000 for the larger pen, which is this one here. And that will hold 350 plus with 5 million litre capacity on your manure heap. Then we come across to nothing under horses, under pigs. We get our pig pen, which is that one there, as you can see. This one has a customization. Oh, I didn't show the customization option. Another one. This one's got solar panels, yes or no, and then color option. If we do that and then go like that, there you go. You can see all that changes for our pig pen. And then finally, our sheep pen. There's nothing for chickens, just these. Large sheep pen, 150 grand, 500 plus. Again with this customization option, click on that. Solar panel, yes or no. Color option, let's go orange, for example, does all of that. So, like I say, there's the smaller one. You got your water point at the back, slurry point just there, feed point here. If we open this up, there we go, open gate. Apparently we have another open gate. Open door, there we go. Dialogue box is just here, that's for the pigs. Manure heap there. In fact, this is a lot with the MISSYB ones. It shows that for bedding. Sometimes it takes bales, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're better off just putting the stuff inside with the trailer. Yeah, it doesn't always work, but there is a bale point there for putting bedding in. That's the open pile one, manure heap there. That's the small cow one. This is the large cow one. You can see the manure heap, the size of it. It's gargantuan, but that holds 5 million litres. And then we've got a manure heap, a slurry point. The water point is that big box around the back there, has got a water trigger on it. Now something I was going to double check with this was again options for whether the shutters open and close. I didn't find a switch. Again, that's not to say there isn't one, but I didn't come across one. I'm struggling to find a light switch. There's got to be one. Oh, hang on. Hold ye hoses. There you go. You can see your point there. Oh, there we go. It is there. So the windows do open at the sides on this one. It depends what you're looking for, I guess. And the sheep one down the front here. Judging by the fact the last one had it, I would imagine. I'm curious to see what that's showing as now. 270, but that said, let me just double check that. The sheep one says 500. And we placed it in standard configuration, that's only saying 270. So you would definitely have to extend that. Actually, I'm curious to see about the other one now. Have we got a switch on the wall? Somewhere on the pillars. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. No. It'd be weird if there was a switch on the outside. So I'm curious about the capacities of the other ones now. There's your water point, milk point. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so this one over here that said 16, as did the pigs said 16. Let's just double check the pig one, see what that's saying, because I left it in standard configuration. It's saying 142. What was that? Hang on. Let me just double check this. Where's our pigs? We want that one. It says 16. That number definitely says 16, and that says 142. And it's yeah. Anyway, it's a bit of a lottery at the moment, but that's the Hoermann Animals Pack by MISSYB, which brings me on to the last of the mods, and it's this over here, the John Deere 6M Medium Frame Series 2024 by Dince. 52.28 megabytes download, 27 slots. There's a lot of options on this. I'm sure we've had some other Dince stuff before, and when I did the reviews on that, it was the same thing. There was a lot going on. So under your medium tractors, just there, we have got, so you've got command quad, and then you've got auto power. That changes stuff on the console to the right hand side, the look of things. So in each of the horsepowers, so we start off at 171 horsepower, command quad and auto power. We've then got 182 horsepower in both. We've got 192 horsepower in both. 213 horsepower. Actually, the 213 horsepower was only in the auto power. Didn't have the command quad. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Vredestein, Nokian, Mitas, Big AT, back to Trelleborg. So standard, medium, medium, medium 2, wide, wide, wide 2, 1.5 metre narrows, narrow 2s, rear twin, twin, rear narrow twins all round, back to standard, and there will be other tyre choices or options within the other tyre manufacturers. We've got wheel weights 0 up to 500 kilo, I think it was, on the back. Starfire, we've got a selection. We've got Holder 3000 and RTK, 6000 RTK, 7000 RTK, and 7500 and RTK. Then back to no. We've got displays inside, and again this is inside the cab. So we've got Holder, we've then got the 2600, the 2630, 4640, G5 Plus, back to no. So that's depending on what screen you want. We've got lights, LED, which changes some to LED. Then we've got full LED, which I went for. and then back to standard. Roof, openable top and window, window 2, panorama window, back to standard. We've got warning signs, we've got 1 and 2, back to no. We've got cabin lights, standard or premium. Back additional lights, we have got yes, no or yes, so we can add some on. Fenders front, yes or no. We've got fenders back, we start with narrow, standard small, standard, wide, back to narrow again. Beacons, left, right, both or off. Shield, that's at the front, protection, so you've got the bracket for the shield. You've then got the holder, yes, on there as well for the shield. Back to no. We've got exhaust 1, 2 and 3. We've got attachers at the front, so 0 kilo, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 7, 8, 900. Then 900 solid, so not the suitcase weights, but 900. Then 3 point with PTO. Back to hold, 0. And then we've got fuel. This was weird. So fuel tank, it's saying 285 litres. Then big. Let's go back one. I can't see what, if anything actually changes, whether it's just sort of internally does it or something. So we go, yeah, from 285 to 330, then big and cover. And I couldn't see, something must be changing somewhere. Oh, is it the back? Hang on. What changed? Did something just change in there? There we go. So it's adding one in the back there by the left wheel, and then a little cover bit on that as well. There is where it is. Front additional lights. No. Working lights. Top lights. It says top lights, but they stay in the same place, just a different design. So kind of LED, then a standard. We've then got a front loader attacher. Multifunction stick inside the cab. Then the John Deere attachment, then back off again. And they've got precision farming on, Seria Pro Compact if you want that, license plate option there as well. Lots to be getting on with. So, horn, lights, depending on what you've gone for, additional lights, LED pack, all the rest of that excitement. Lights off, beacons, if you went for the beacon option. I went for the RTK and the Starfire 7500. We've got the big screen to the right hand side there if we turn all that off. There we go. All very lovely. We are on triangle, press our triangle button. We are on control group tractor 1, L1, R1, L1, R1. So L1, R1, right stick side to side, swivels our seat. Up and down, adjusts the angle of our tractor. You can see that moving. A little bit of adjustment there. Press triangle again, and then we've got L1, right stick side to side. We've got that door that opens, then up and down does that door. R1, right stick side to side. Was it rear window? It was the rear. Hang on, that's the right. There, look at the handle going. There you go. Opens that one. It's the side, this side, up and down. Opens that one. So it just moving to the side there. L1, that was the doors. L1, R1. Left stick side to side was the rear window. Right stick up and down was our steering wheel. And then right stick side to side. See our buddy seat there? Folds up and out the way. Like so. Triangle again. We're back to tractor 1 for our options. And there you have it. The John Deere 6M Medium Frame Series 2024. That's it for the mods for today. I will make a start on the map tours. I just had a message actually to say that one of the maps, although it's not showing on the Modhub, we'll have a just, is it Polyscene? It's not showing required mods on the Modhub, but apparently when you come to download it, there's about 12 that download automatically. It's not listing it, which is a little bit naughty if you ask me. So I will get on to the map tours ASAP. Might only be one today potentially, then the other two maybe tomorrow. I'd like to say it will all depend. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.